Are we live? Yes, we are live. We are live in effect. Let me do an audio check. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let me. Okay, we got the mic check in full effect. Okay, microphone check 1 2. What is this? Welcome to another live stream of I'm Chris the Dom 1. We got a lot of topics and we're about to address and tackle those topics. But before we begin, please, if you are new to my channel, please hit the subscription button, the notification bell so you'll know when my next video or live stream goes down. Please share my content with your friends, family, as well as your followers if you are digging the Don Squad movement. And anyone that is new to this live stream, you're probably wondering, hey, I can watch the live stream, but I can't even comment. Well, unfortunately, it's subscription only. So if you want to take part of the live stream, I will be reading comments, particularly when I'm done with a particular topic and share my thoughts and opinions. I will read the comment section and see what you guys have to offer down there. But if you want to subscribe, if you want to comment, unfortunately, you have to subscribe to the channel, okay? Because that's how we do things here. Okay, but nevertheless, I'm the best. Let's get into these topics. The first topic we're going to talk about is Blac Chyna. Apparently, we've been living under a rock. Allow your boy to explain. Blac Chyna is suing the Kardashian family because she feels like, in essence, the Kardashian destroyed her chances as far as renewing a season 2 of Rob and Chyna. And I remember last week we talked about this, and I told you guys what I felt about the Rob and Chyna show, as well as from what I gathered from other people who were fans of reality TV, and they felt like the Rob and Chyna show wasn't that popping. It wasn't it. It wasn't the ish. Okay. And I watched it. I watched the first episode and then was in and out of the other episodes. I didn't think this thing was going to last a full season, and I felt like the only reason why it made it through a full season because it was sort of viewed as an extension to Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And I felt like a lot of the Kardashian fan base who are fans of the Kardashians, who are pulling for the Kardashians, basically went to Rob and Chyna's channel thinking that it was going to be an extension of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, plus, the chances, the possibilities of any of the sisters that's going to be on the Rob and Chyna show, as well as the Jenners and things of that nature. So I felt like a lot of people had high expectations of this show. And I told you guys, I watched the first episode, but then after that, I was in and out of the episodes because I didn't feel, I'm not a huge fan of reality TV. Let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I'm not a huge fan of reality TV. But like I said, I have to get my information from people who are fans of reality TV. And a lot of people who are fans of reality TV was not feeling the Rob and Chyna show. Okay, so let's get into the topic. All right, so the judge tossed part of Blac Chyna's case against Kim Kardashian. Chyna lawsuit alleges that allegations of abuse were told to the television producers in an effort to get her reality show, Rob and Chyna show, canceled. And we briefly talked about that last Saturday. And I'm not going to go too much into it. We'll just continue with the topic. And this is coming from, and this article is coming from NBC News. And Los Angeles, a judge on Friday threw out part of the case against Kim Kardashian, a former reality TV star Blac Chyna lawsuit, while the jury is in deliberations on the elements on what is still remaining. The judge ruled that Chyna's attorney did not provide any statement during the trial from the Kardashians that were that was co-signing to what Blac Chyna was accusing the Kardashians. Okay. The case against the Kardashians for interfering with the contract remaining about their show. The jury is deciding on both the defamation lawsuit and the contract interference, a case against the Kris Jenners, Khloe Kardashian, and Kylie Jenner. Keep those names in the back of your mind. The jurors were sent home Friday without reaching a verdict after their first full day of deliberations. They were instructed and to be revived after the Kim Kardashian decision. The attorneys and the judge gave their answers on several questions that were submitted. They are scheduled to resume Monday morning. Chyna lawsuit alleges that the women falsified, told the television producers and the executives that Chyna had violently attacked her then fiance Rob Kardashian in December 2016 and attempted to get the reality show Rob and Chyna show canceled. One of the attorneys argued during closing arguments Thursday afternoon that the women had no reason to believe the attack had occurred, as testimony, photos, and videos from the show shows no significant injuries to Rob Kardashian. And he did have a mark and didn't have marks on him. The attorney stated there was no call for the police. There were no trips to the hospital, not even a Band-Aid. Okay. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. Okay. All right. So where were we? Okay. The Kardashians' attorney argued during the closing that the women had every reason to believe the accounts of the attack of Rob Kardashian and from Kris Jenner's longtime boyfriend, Corey Gambles, never heard of him before, who broke up the dispute, was like the defense key witness. Do you remember how Rob looked on the stand yesterday? His pain was real, Rhodes said. This is a real family. Yeah, they're famous, but they are real people. They got really bad. They were really badly hurt from this incident, basically. So, in clear examples of statement via text messages and emails from Kris Jenner, Khloe Kardashian, and Kylie Jenner, telling the show producers, said that the E! Network, which the show appeared on, about the allegations of abuse. But the case she made against Kim Kardashian was more vague. Reading the jury's instructions Thursday, Rose pointed out that there were no potential detrimental statements from then Kim Kardashian. A similar argument emerged in Friday over the altercation and jury selection. This is chosen 12 jurors and 4 alternates. The judge had the lawyers select from 16 jurors, then chose random drawings after the closing arguments. The judge again pointed out that she had to agree to the process before the trial. And yada, yada, yada. So basically, and I hate to go go into stuff that we talked about last week, and I feel like the stuff that we talked about last week is the same stuff I'm going to unfortunately tell you guys this week. Well, today, and I feel like this. I feel like I feel like this is a reach for Blac Chyna to try to attempt to sue the Kardashians. I really don't have a horse in it. I'm not a big fan of Blac Chyna. I'm definitely not a big fan of the Kardashians. I'm not saying that these are bad people. I'm just not a fan of them. I really don't follow them like that. I understand why they have a huge fan base and things of that nature. I understand why they're so popular and all that. But basically, I feel like this is a ploy from Blac Chyna, and she's really reaching. And if you've been following Blac Chyna's, financially she is struggling. The Zeus Network isn't as, she has her show on the Zeus Network, and that is not as popular as she anticipated. You have to understand, Zeus Network and E-Television, if you look at their subscriber base, there's more people watching and following what transpires through E than basically the Zeus Network. I'm just sorry. And now the Kardashians are on Hulu. And if you look at the Kardashians, with particularly with reality TV, they have flourished on that. They have been popular by that move, as well as very successful, very wealthy with that move, making smart business decisions, have smart people around them. But when you look at Blac Chyna and her 15 seconds of fame, yes, she got an extension of the Rob and Chyna show that was literally an extension of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But if you look at that show probably would not even make it to the airwaves, much less get any type of viewership, if it wasn't an extension and it wasn't advertised and promoted as an extension of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I feel like that's where they got them. I feel like that's where it was truly successful with, and that's why they got the viewership. But as the episodes went on, it was just pretty much a forest. As well as if you look at their status of their relationship between Blac Chyna and Rob Kardashian, it was heading towards Splitville, during that one season of Rob and Chyna. And it was already ultimately going to head where it ultimately head where it's at right now. They're no longer together. But to me, I feel like Blac Chyna feels like that even if Rob was not in Rob in Chyna, if he no longer wanted to do it, and if you've been following and paying attention to Rob Kardashian, he's not fame hungry. Okay, out of everyone in the Kardashian family, he's you wouldn't have known that the Kardashian sisters had a brother. Rob Kardashian has a low profile. He stays low. He doesn't attract attention or anything like that. And if you look at what has been transpiring with the Kardashians, they're the total opposite of Rob Kardashian. However, I don't think this show. I think the only real reason why, and like I told you guys, the only real reason why people was watching in droves with this show because it was an extension to the Kardashians. But when you look at the show retrospect and you look at all of those episodes, and the potential that show could have had if the Kardashians were introduced into this show, or the Jenners, or whatever, they pull a storyline that's really not popping on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and they extended that storyline to Rob and Chyna. I feel like that's the only way that show was ever going to have a second season. And when you look at their relationship, Blac Chyna and Rob Kardashian, they was already on split field, even though she had a child. I really do think Blac Chyna feels that since I have a baby by Rob Kardashian, I can use the baby as an extension to, utilizing the Kardashian name. And it was like a couple of years ago that was in court about that, where they told Blac Chyna she can no longer use the Kardashian name. And it wasn't like her and Rob Kardashian were married; they were just boyfriend and girlfriend. But also, if you've been paying attention to Blac Chyna, the struggle has been real. And we talked about this last week. I just think Blac Chyna is not as popular as she once was. A couple of seasons ago. Okay, so yeah, man, it's just a lot of stuff going on with that. And hold up, I get so irritated when Alrighty. So yeah, that's all I can go into full details about. It is what it is. I feel like by the end of next week, we're gonna reach a conclusion, and at the end of the day, I feel like Blac Chyna is really not going to win this case because she really doesn't have enough evidence, just more speculation about how she feels that the Kardashians pretty much destroyed her as far as making a reality show on Rob and Chyna. And I just feel like this is just wishful thinking. I don't think it's going to be it's just, she's probably going to have to figure something else out. So I feel like this trial is going to, to be honest with you, I think it was over from the beginning. Okay. So yeah. All right. So hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. So yeah, so we're done on that one, and let's move on to next. And like I said, I want to hurry up and do these topics so I can talk about other stuff. So yeah, so topic number 2: Sage Steele is suing ESPN after remarks on the vaccine mandate as well as the Obama remarks. Okay. As always, rate, comment, subscribe. hit the like button, share this content with your friends, family, and followers if you are really, truly messing with your boy. All right, so let's get into this. So ESPN anchor Sage Steele is suing the network after claiming her rights of free speech over the remarks she made last year. Steele attracts criticism after the remarks she made on a podcast that was hosted by NFL quarterback Jay Cutler. And I saw this podcast, and I'm shocked that Jay Cutler's podcast is not getting more numbers from this, because all this really originated from his podcast, and it done spiraled into where we are right now. Okay, so basically, her remarks that she made on Jay Cutler's NFL quarterback Jay Cutler's last September during an appearance. The SportsCenter host called ESPN vaccine mandate sick. Said female reporter should change the way they dress and avoid inappropriate comments from male athletes, questioning whether or not Barack Obama is black. If they make you choose a race, what are you going to put? Well, both. Steele, who is biracial, which man, I done lost something. Hold up, y'all. Man, I done lost something and I can't even find it. Hold up. I'll get it a little bit later. Okay. If they make you choose your race, what are you going to put? Well, both. Steele, who is biracial, said at that time Barack Obama chose black. He's biracial. Congratulations to the president. That's his thing. I think that the fascination in considering his black dad is nowhere to be found, while his white mom and grandmama raised him. But okay, you do you. I'm going to do me. Listen, I'm pretty sure my white mom was there when I was born, and my white family loves me as much as my black family. Okay. ESPN journalist Jamel Hill, who was among those who attacked Steele's comments for the remarks, calling her a clown. Steele was given a short suspension from the network, issued an apology at the time. We are in the middle of an extreme challenging times that impact all of us, and it's more crucial than ever that we communicate consistently and thoughtfully, she wrote it. However, in this lawsuit, which was first reported by the Wall Street Journal, the 49-year-old said ESPN reduced her role in the network, failing to prevent her being bullied by her colleagues, and had cuffed her freedom of speech. The lawsuit, which seeks unspecified damages, also accused ESPN for failing to take Steele's comments in context. In the statement to the Journal on Wednesday, ESPN pointed out recent role assignments to Steele. Steele remains a valuable contributor. Some of ESPN's highest profile, including most recently the Masters telecast, the afternoon SportsCenter, the network says. ESPN dealt with a number of issues surrounding the staff in recent years. Hill left the network to join The Atlantic in 2019 after calling Donald Trump a white supremacist. and criticized the Dallas Cowboys for threatening to punish players who kneel during the national anthem. We all know all this. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it, folks. Okay. Now, let's talk about this. If you have been following your boy, if you've been following me, all right, I made a video about this matter on this channel about Jemele Hill, Sage Steele. I forgot the other lady that hangs around Jemele Hill. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. And let's get our factor. Let's get everything in order. Let's get it. Let's get this thing in order. Hold on. Man. Okay, so all right, hold on. Holds up, y'all. Okay, so to me, if you've been following this, man, I've been, like I said, I made a video on this as well as I made a video on this as well as a live stream on this, and I talked about this subject, and I talked about the constant things concerning ESPN. You know, at the end of the day, ESPN is owned by Disney. Disney perceives themselves as a family oriented. Oh my God. Consider itself a family network and a family show. Even though, yes, on Disney Plus, you can watch a lot of them, the Marvel shows such as Iron Fist and a lot of those Marvel products that were on Netflix that were not family friendly. Now they have changed it and took some scenes out, this, that, and the third. Okay. But for the most part, Disney is a family themed type of atmosphere they promote. All right. So anything under the Disney umbrella is going to have to follow suit. All right. And we talked about Jemele Hill. We talked about Rachel Nichols. We talked about Maria Taylor. Okay. We even talked about I can't even think of the lady's name that they used to be on ESPN. You used to hang around Jemele Hill, and I'm looking for it. But we have talked about these women before, as well as other people. We have talked not only females but males too, and we have talked about so many of these journalists that used to be on the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. Okay, and if you look at Carrie Champion, that's who I was thinking of. Carrie Champion, and I can't think of that female that was on sports. ESPN. me see. Well, it's definitely not. Now, this is their new ladies. Olivia, Heartland, Kaylin, Lindsay. I can't pronounce that. Cassie Hubbard, Elaine Duncan, Marie. It was Maria Taylor, Nicole Briscoe. Well, yeah, I know all of them. Okay, and they're still working for the Worldwide Leader of Sports, ESPN. But let me see. I'm trying to find these women. And yeah, we got the Molly Quams and all that, but there were some other women I wanted to talk about. It's not Nicole Bristol. I forgot that lady's name. Anyway, she used to be on Sports Nation. There we go. She was on Sports Nation. I knew I can figure it out. Sports Nation. I know I could find that lady. Who was that lady that was on Sports Nation? Oh man, I can't think of that lady. Anyway, so yeah, I talked about these people on my I've talked about them on live streams and videos. I talked about why they're no longer there. I talked about why what's going on. And look, when you're dealing with Disney, and if you work at Disney, and if your company is attached to Disney, you just got to follow the Disney way. And when you talk about they're not into politics, they're not into promoting white supremacists. They're not into Black Lives Matter. Now they will promote the movement in a juncture, but they're not going to have it 24/7, 7 days a week. They're not going to have a platform. They may have a show, but they're not going to consistently talk about it. They're just not really into politics. Basically, if you want to break this down to the simplest fraction in the simplest form, they're just not into politics, dude. They never have and they never will. And it's not like they have an issue with African Americans, or if they're appealing to another type of audience. It's none of that. They just not into that stuff. And there have been journalists, male and females, that they put that high above their plate than Disney. And those journalists, male and female, have moved on. Okay. And Sage Steele has been in and out of controversy, and I'm surprised that I thought she was removed from ESPN. ESPN no longer, mess with her like that. Okay. But if you look at what ESPN has, if you look at ESPN, that's what they always been like that from start to finish. They have always been like that. And if you look at Sage Steele, and now she's about to sue ESPN. As far as you have to understand, at that particular time, every corporation was promoting their employees to get in line, promoting the vaccine, making sure everyone gets the vaccine. Everyone speak highly about the vaccine. Now, there have been some detractors. Okay. So if you look at that argument, and Sage Steele is not the only individual, by the way, that was, if she wants to consider it forced, to take the vaccine. If she wants to utilize it that way, that's fine. But there have been others. There was a guy on a popular soap show, I believe it was ABC or whatever, and he decided not to take vaccine. Therefore, he lost his job. There have been other people who have less. They're not real popular roles. They're just 9-to-5 jobs or jobs with salaries. They just decided to just leave that organization rather than take the mandate, take the vaccine. At the end of the day, it is your choice. It is your right whether or not what you want to put in your body. You're absolutely right about that. But at the end of the day, at that particular time, your choice and your action could affect other people. So yeah, if you didn't want to take the vaccine, cool. I'm all for that. I feel like everyone should have the choice to do whatever. Just make sure your choices don't impact other people from making choices. And that's what a lot of people were talking about during that time. Now, she pointed out something else in the lawsuit about, basically ESPN not supporting her, and she had to face harassment from her colleagues and this, that, and the third. As that's a possibility too. And ESPN may be found liable for that, which means that they're going to have to put in better rules in place to have a positive environment. Not because no matter if you like her or hate her, everyone should not be harassed at their workplace. Now, the point of her talking about Barack Obama choosing to be black, I think that irritates her. I really do. I think his choice and his decision irritates Sage Steele. And I remember Sage Steele talking about how she talked about even in her childhood, everyone, was really promoting her to just choose being African American. And she chose just to be biracial. And there's nothing wrong with that. But once again, we're back at the choice point. The same, she just said in that article that it was almost like she was being forced to take the vaccine. Well, someone's pushing their agenda on you. Well, you're pushing your agenda on Barack Obama or anyone else, for that matter, who chooses one race over the other. Okay. And once again, Barack Obama was playing, and if you want to look at this as this was a politic move, a power move where, Barack, he was trying to become president, and he would have gotten a lot more black votes if he would have just chose African American. He would have gotten a lot more white votes if he would just chosen African American. I can understand why people would vent that way or go that route. However, at the end of the day, it's his choice. It is his choice to figure out what he wants to be, what he wants to do at the end of the day. And I feel like Sage Steele is missing the point. And I can understand why Sage Steele is a little upset with this. I really do. But at the same time, he has a right and a choice, just like she has one. So yeah, I mean, I can understand as far as her and ESPN. I can understand. I can feel her. I can, don't stifle her ability to take a stand and to have the right of choosing if she wants to be biracial or not. I mean, that's her right. That's her responsibility. I get what she's saying. So yeah, and like I said, I've done videos and live streams about this. And yes, Sage Steele is the type of individual that's really not real popular with, I don't think she has a fan base out there that's extremely popular, and is for her and this, that, and the third. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And my thing of it is, she has every right to choose whether or not she wants to take the vaccine or not. She shouldn't be forced to take the vaccine. However, everyone that's affected around your choices and actions have the right and the choice. They have rights and choices too. Everyone should respect one another. Okay, so yeah, so man, I crashed those two topics, the Blac Chyna incident as well as the Sage Steele incident. But yeah, I cracked those two topics, and we're just gonna get into some regular. I'm just gonna shoot the breeze. Just give me a second here. Hold on one second, folks. Hold on one second, fam. All righty. Okay, I'm back. Something I talked about on my other YouTube channel, and that was the Russell Westbrook situation. Apparently, if you've been living on a rock, allow your boy to explain. The Lakers front office has been they pretty much promoted the truth that, well, if you want to, I'll be honest with you, when I heard this on Fox Sports 1, and when I read the article, I mean, not only it was logical, but everybody was on this side of the fence of who's responsible for Russell Westbrook coming to Los Angeles. Was it the front office, Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, or was it LeBron James, Clutch Sports, and Anthony Davis? And the front office is pretty much saying, has pretty much told the world that decision in part lies with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Clutch Sports. If you, and it sort of gives the comments Magic Johnson said on Get Up, as well as First Take a couple of months ago, when Magic Johnson even admitted to the Russell Westbrook experiment. If you want to give anyone blame for that, give it to the players, because the players were orchestrating that move. And Magic Johnson even said, real talk, the front office of the Los Angeles Lakers, they were going to re-sign Alex Caruso, make a trade for Buddy Hield. Also, there was a contract on the table for DeMar DeRozan. The reason why that deal fell through and fell out because of the additional year. But all of those moves are in line and in part of Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office. Those were the moves they were going to make. But LeBron, AD, and Clutch Sports wanted them to make a move for Russell Westbrook. And around this time last year, there was like a courtship between LeBron, AD, and Russell Westbrook. They appeared in several events. They were on social media talking among each other and making conversation around this time last year of the possibility of Russell Westbrook coming home to the purple and suiting up in the purple and gold. And I told you guys, not only on this channel, but on my Just My Opinion channel, I felt like that would not been the right move for the Los Angeles Lakers. It doesn't make the right basketball sense, to be perfectly honest. If they would have re-signed Alex Caruso, if the Buddy Hield trade, maybe they could have landed DeRozan, even if they have to give him an additional year. Let's just go hypothetically say they just say yeah to the additional year. If you look at those parts and you fit it into the system of Frank Vogel is a defensive minded guy. Those guys were a little younger and a lot more athletic than what they ultimately chose, was an agent, Russell Westbrook, who was never interested in playing defense. You got LeBron James that pretty much rests on defense because he had other aberrations and other achievements like the Kareem record. All right. You got AD, who's never been fully healthy. Okay. And you could pretty much pencil him in missing several significant games. All right. And now you're going to sign yet again another aging ISO player in Carmelo Anthony, even though he came off the bench. And the Lakers just got older overnight. And none of those players fit what Frank Vogel ultimately wanted to do. So you got what you got. When you get all them ingredients in the kitchen, you got what you got. And now the Lakers, they couldn't even make it into the play-in tournament, much less the playoffs. All right. So now the front office has finally said, look, all of those recent moves and recent activities, that was in line of LeBron, Clutch Sports, and Anthony Davis. They were co-signing those moves. Now, I said in that live stream on my other YouTube channel, and I was going to do a part 2 about my theory on why now. Why would the Los Angeles Lakers front office throw out a report like this on the height and on the heels of the NBA playoffs? Why now? After you heard reports of LeBron not signing an extension, he's just going to play it out. He's got one more year with the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay. The possibility of Russell Westbrook coming back next season. You also kept hearing rumors in the weeds about the possibility of exploring trades, such as maybe trading AD, maybe trading LeBron. Not to mention the fact they just lost their coach. Who is going to be the successor for the Lakers moving forward? Even though I threw a couple of names in the hat. If you want to find out those couple of names, go check out that live stream on my other YouTube channel, okay? Throw a couple of names out. And you hear all of this. And you also hear the fact of the possibility of them getting Mark Jackson. You kept hearing Mark Jackson news and notes. Mark Jackson name is tied to maybe the next successor as far as coach goes for the Los Angeles Lakers, which I don't see that. I told you guys on the live stream I did on my other YouTube channel, Just My Opinion Podcast. Go check that podcast out. Terrific podcast, by the way. While you're over there, rate, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Share with your friends, family, and followers. I made the pitch of Juwan Howard being the successor for the Los Angeles Lakers moving forward because he does have an established relationship with LeBron James. He understands the players in that era of LeBron James. He has, he knows Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, and a lot of the newer players, the younger players, can identify with a Juwan Howard since he's a collegiate coach. And, I don't think he's the type of coach where he's going to be a player friendly type of coach. He's going to balance it like the budget. He's going to be on both sides of the fence, but he's going to also show his authority and his leadership qualities if the Lakers pick him. Now, I think the Lakers are going to pick him. If the Lakers don't pick him, maybe Mike Kosesi. I always butcher his last name. But the coach at Duke who just retired, that's a long shot. I know it's a long shot, but it's still a possibility because of his relationship with U.S. basketball. I think a lot of those players who played in that USA basketball system, including LeBron James, respects him. Either of those decisions is not going to get LeBron James as far as getting him to sign an extension. But those are my two. But I said on the live stream, on Just My Opinion live stream, I believe it was Friday, the next successor for the Los Angeles Lakers is somebody who's currently still in the playoffs, which is going to be an up-and-coming coach who's young, who doesn't have a lot of experience, but can relate to this new crop and this new wave of players. And I'm not talking about the Kevin Durant's, the Kyrie Irvings, the LeBron James, the Kawhi Leonards. I'm not talking about that batch and that group of players. Okay. I think it's going to be a transcending coach that knows how to communicate with today's players. Because I feel like today's players are not like the players of those guys of that generation I just mentioned. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of this, shall we? Why did the Lakers front office, why did Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, the Los Angeles Lakers front office, is promoting this narrative of, hey, don't look at us. It was not ideal to get Russell Westbrook. That was LeBron James, Clutch Sports, and Anthony Davis. That was their guy. Okay, that's what they wanted to do. I feel like the real reason why the Los Angeles Lakers want to get in front of it is because they want to place blame where it's due. And if Clutch Sports, LeBron James, or Anthony Davis do not deny these accusations, I feel like over the course of time, it's going to affect their name and their brand. Over the course of time, it devalues and loosen your grip as a powerhouse leader in the NBA. Because a couple of seasons ago, a lot of people wasn't even talking about this. A couple of seasons ago, people were talking about the possibility of LeBron James as well as Clutch Sports owning the Los Angeles Lakers. Because the Los Angeles Lakers, before they got their title, they were not on the best terms. The struggle was real, even with the Los Angeles Lakers. There was dysfunction in the family. They was having issues. It just didn't look good for them. No, sir. If you look at the why did they reach this conclusion? Why they went there? I think, like I said, they want to place blame where blame is due. And let the world know that ultimately the reason why we got Russell Westbrook the reason why we got Russell Westbrook is to placate to LeBron James and Anthony Davis, keeping them happy. And I told you guys on a live stream before the season started, DOA, death for the super teams. I felt like the way how super teams are formed by other superstar players, like Wonder Twin powers activate, just joining a team, this superstar joins this superstar and they create a super team. I think those days are behind us. Because look what you have to do to establish a super team. If you got a team that's constructed very well in the draft, as well as the salary cap, and you're building slowly but surely, you have to destroy everything that you was working hard for to get to this point, to add another superstar. And you only got maybe you only got 4 to 5 years to win a title. And in the meantime, you're giving up draft picks. You're mortgaging away all your young talent. And look at the Brooklyn Nets. Look at the Los Angeles Clippers. Look at the Los Angeles Lakers. Look at the Brooklyn Nets. Look at the Philadelphia 76ers. There's a possibility the next series they go into, no Joel Embiid, meaning they have to depend on James Harden. And James Harden hasn't been James Harden since he was with the Houston Rockets. But yeah, ultimately, I feel like the Lakers front office want to get ahead of this wave and wants to put the blame where it nearly belongs to. And two, I feel like the Los Angeles Lakers are setting up for a very interesting offseason. Let's just look at what the Los Angeles Lakers have on their roster. Their salary cap is pretty much gone. They can't buy their way out of this situation. They're also in a position where they need help from other teams to make them better, i.e. trading Russell Westbrook for some players, trading AD to get better. And does that get you even closer? Free agency is not going to help you because you don't have enough money unless somebody free agent is over with. Everyone done spent their money, and now there's a talented free agent out there who has to take the league minimum. I don't think that's going to happen. It's not like you can get players from the NBA draft because you just sold some of your draft picks for one Anthony Davis. So while other teams are getting better because they have the capability that they're able to move because of their salary cap is not all the way to the max, because they can flip a couple of pieces here, a couple of pieces there, players or draft picks to make their team a little bit better. They're able to sign a free agent or two. The Lakers are going to be incapable of doing any of those three phases, meaning same spit for next year. The Los Angeles Lakers, what you see the Los Angeles Lakers today are the same Los Angeles Lakers you're going to see at the start of next season. It doesn't look good, guys. It does not look good at all. The Los Angeles Lakers are in a world of trouble, folks. Which means there's a strong possibility of the Los Angeles Lakers just rebuild a year early. Because no matter how good LeBron James is, he's still never going to be that guy that can carry a team to the finals like he was in his early years. He's just simply not, guys. Hold on. He is simply not. LeBron James is not that guy no more. Stick a fork in him. He's done. He's done, son. He's done. It does not surprise me next year they have the same roster than what they have right now. Yeah, they may get a few pieces here and there. They may sign a few players like under a 10-day contract, like what they was doing this year. You'll see that. Yeah, they probably will find there's a sucker born every minute. They may find a team that can trade for Russell Westbrook. They trade Russell Westbrook for maybe 3 or 4 players. The people out there, the scenarios are still out there about Russell Westbrook, the possibility of them trading Russell to the Detroit Pistons or the Charlotte Hornets. But are you going to get enough back to compete? You might get enough back to unload his contract. And if you look at the Lakers, wouldn't it just make sense for the Los Angeles Lakers just to keep Russell Westbrook? I mean, you got one more year remaining on his contract. Look at all that money that you're going to be able to utilize next season, at the end of this season. And that's why I'm telling you guys, I feel like the Los Angeles Lakers are going to rebuild a year early. They're going to rebuild with a year early, just keeping Russell Westbrook, utilizing that money for next season. Allow LeBron James to play his 1 year since he's not going to sign an extension. Just, if you're lucky, LeBron passes Kareem on your watch, on your dime. And that's just one more achievement that you can use and that you can illustrate in the Raptors or make a statue about or whatever, tell stories about, okay? And then you got Anthony Davis. He's still your future. You still got more years remaining on his contract. Even if you start rebuilding, just having Anthony Davis in the house will be great for the Los Angeles Lakers. It will be great. But I'm here to tell y'all guys, the Lakers are going to rebuild. They're going to rebuild a year early. There's no hope for the Los Angeles Lakers. And LeBron James is going to play his year. Then he becomes a free agent next season, and he already admitted to and alluded to that he's willing to play for less, depending on what type of attitude we get from LeBron James. If he still wants to chase titles or just chase individual stats and achievements, I don't know. LeBron James. So that's what's going on. A lot of people don't see it, but I see it. Hey, man, he tried. What more do you want him to do? He did his due diligence. He tried. He tried. Okay. He tried. He tried. Give me a second here. All right. Okay. Okay. Be sure to check out my podcast on the Anchor app as well as Spotify, as well as the the iTunes Podcast Center. I'm Chris the Don One Podcast. Please check that out. Get familiar with that podcast. It's a really dope podcast, really dope concept. Well, I be having different types of discussion and conversation about, anything that's popular or on and popping. Just, random thoughts and giving it to you guys from a different perspective. Okay. All righty. Man. Really, not that too much to talk about. I was hoping somebody would make a comment in the comment section. I've been on for like an hour. Nobody has commented yet. But hopefully I'll be consistently doing these things on a consistent basis. All right, hold on one second. Let me see. Oh man, come on, man. Hold on. Come on, man. Oh, you know what? We gotta talk about it. But before we talk about it, hold on 1 second. Let a player. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. We gotta talk about this. I just want to make sure I haven't forgot anything. All right, hold up. Just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's get this cracking. Let's get this conversation going. All right, let's get this conversation going. Okay. All right, so check this out, man. And this isn't I'm be honest with you, this is look, you ever heard of an early adapter? Well, I've heard about this show for quite some time, but I never was interested enough to watch the show, even though I heard about it. I heard bits and pieces about this show. Then I heard bits and pieces about the sequel of other shows surrounding this original concept of a show. And I heard it from my colleagues, my friends. Everybody would talk about this show. And okay, look, before I tell y'all the show, I got a story to tell, okay? And I'm going to admit something. Live and direct, I'm going to admit something. Admit to something. The Walking Dead. I was a late adapter to The Walking Dead. When I started being interested about The Walking Dead, it was like they was like going into their 4th season. Okay. So my wife, employee, and people I work with, friends, family, everyone would speak highly about this show. Okay. And I thought the concept of the show was stupid. All right. It was like Dawn of the Dead, but for a season. If you ever heard of the horror movie Dawn of the Dead, the concept of Dawn of the Dead, and they had like different sequels to Dawn of the Dead. It was a movie, old school movie. Basically in a nutshell, humans surviving apocalyptic world. Okay, with slow, dead ass zombies. All right. And that's why I thought the concept of The Walking Dead. That's why I wasn't a huge fan of The Walking Dead. Now, it just got the best of me because people just kept hitting me over the head like, no, man, you need to check out The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is much more than that. The Walking Dead is much more than that. You're going to be in love with this show. Trust me, Chris, you are going to be in love with this show. So I said, all right. I got Netflix, okay? So I'm already 4 years behind. And I started watching The Walking Dead 1st season. The first 2 episodes, I wasn't really feeling it. And if I would just only watch those first 2 episodes, I probably wouldn't have been feeling it. And I probably would have gave up. And probably would have told the rest of the world and everyone around me that, that show sucks. I watched 2 episodes of that. That show sucks. Okay, it reeks. Okay, so I watched 2 episodes. Wasn't too happy of the first 2 episodes. All right, but then I don't know if it was episode 3 or maybe 4 or 5, whatever. There was a climax in one of those episodes where I wanted to see on how they was going to end this storyline, or if they're going to have a continuation of the storyline. So I kept watching it. Next thing I know, I watched all 4 seasons of The Walking Dead. And when I watched the 4th season of The Walking Dead, the 5th season started. So now I can watch The Walking Dead from the 5th season on out. I was never a year behind or 3 years behind or anything like that. And I would just binge watching it. Okay. And after watching The Walking Dead and watching other series that spawned around the Walking Dead universe, I have grown a liking and accustomed to The Walking Dead. I think The Walking Dead is a great show. Now, I'm not one of these diehard Walking Dead fans. Like you got some real diehard Walking Dead fans that'll tell you why The Walking Dead ain't ain't popping like it was in the early days. Okay, and people would allude to several things, killing off favorite characters. That's one way. The storyline gets kind of stale, and there have been seasons of The Walking Dead where they will introduce this new threat, this new group of people that's in a constant battle with Dale and all them. Okay. And I know after a while, you be like, okay, basically when every season ends and then when another season starts, you go, okay, what group of people that they're going to introduce this time? Okay, because they don't introduce all different types of groups of people. They introduced the prisoners, the prisoners, the bad guys type of group of people. Then they introduced the gangs. They introduced people that are trying to survive. They introduce people that eat other people. They introduce people that tear the skin and the face off of their victims and they wear them. They introduce all different types of layers of all different types of communities, of all different types of people. And now I think this is the end of The Walking Dead. They're introducing an advanced group of people who are back to somewhat normal. Okay, they're not living from cave to cave and surviving and things of that nature. They have already done survive. And these group of people they even got guns and everything, but these group of people are worse than any group of people that they have ran across with. Okay. So you got all these different types of people, right? And like I said, I can understand a lot of people saying, The Walking Dead just ain't hit. Walking Dead ain't hit no more, dog. Hold up. Let me. Yo. Testing. Testing. Tested. Tested. 1 2 1 2. Tested. Oh. All right. Yeah, I got to work on that mic. Okay. Yo, can you hear me? All right. So you got all these different types of people. All right. Okay. So I can see the limitations of The Walking Dead. I know what works, what don't work. I know when it was popping. I know when it stopped being popping. I know why a lot of people are not watching it like they used to. Because, after a while, TV series get old after a while. What was hot 9 years ago, chances are it's not going to have that longevity of staying hot. It's just the way with anything. All right. So now we move from The Walking Dead to the show that I kept hearing about. And, I would hold on one second. All right. I'm going to get something to drink. I kept hearing about this show and I would hear people talk about it, but I wasn't, I thought the show would be interesting, but I never had an inkling of checking it out. So now, here I am watching the Breaking Bad series and the other shows surrounding the Breaking Bad universe. I'm going to tell you what I did But before I tell you what I did, if you're not a fan of the Breaking Bad, let me tell you the Breaking Bad universe. If there is a such thing as a Breaking Bad universe. First of all, if you got Netflix, you can watch all of the Breaking Bad from season 1 to season 5 uninterrupted on Netflix. And you can watch from season 1 all the way to season 5 at this moment. But I think they say season 6 starts for Better Call Saul. You can watch that as well on Netflix. But you can watch season 1 to season 5 of Better Call Saul. And you can watch, and if you like those, you can also watch the movie from the Breaking Bad universe. And I forgot the name of the movie. I do apologize, okay? Do apologize. So, I noticed they're all on Netflix. Everyone was telling me, yo, to really understand the Breaking Bad show, as well as the Breaking Bad universe, you have to watch the OG, the original Breaking Bad, then watch Better Call Saul, then watch the Breaking Bad movie. I can't think of the Breaking Bad movie as of right now. I did it totally opposite. I watched Better Call Saul, then I'm currently in the Breaking Bad series, and I feel like I got like 3 or 4 episodes of the end of the fifth season, and then I'm going to watch the movie. I tell you why I did it that way, and I feel like ultimately this is the better way to understand the nuances of the Breaking Bad universe. Now, yeah, you can watch Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and then the movie, okay? But I felt like me watching Better Call Saul first, then Breaking Bad, it explains, it to me, I understand the characters a lot more. It explains the characters. It explains a lot of storylines. It explains why certain characters went certain ways. It explained a lot of things. And I felt like if now look, you can watch it the normal way, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but I watch Better Call Saul first, then Breaking Bad. And to me, I'm glad I looked at it that way, because if I would have watched Breaking Bad first and then Better Call Saul, I probably would not have been feeling Better Call Saul, because Better Call Saul on Breaking Bad was a jerk. He was a total a-hole. All right. And when you look at the character, and when you look at the character, I wasn't feeling him. He wasn't an iconic or a character that I wanted to follow, particularly if they had their own series. So in a nutshell, I'm kind of glad I watched Better Call Saul, because now when I watch his series, I understand the nuances of Better Call Saul. I fully understand. Let me get a mic check here. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. Anyway, so I'm glad I watched Better Call Saul first. Then I watched Breaking Bad second, because it explains the character of Better Call Saul a lot better. It also explains the detective. I can't think of his name. I think it was Frank or Tim, the old school detective from Boston. It explains him. All right. So a lot of the characters, and they regurgitated a lot of characters, a lot of the characters in the Better and Breaking Bad universe, and they just put them in Better Call Saul universe and just gave more story time for those characters. Okay, so it explains in a nutshell why the characters were and are in Breaking Bad. So let's just start off with Breaking Bad. So, okay, so basically, in a nutshell, Breaking Bad. If you haven't watched Breaking Bad, before we begin, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Okay, in a nutshell, it's just about drug dealing. Okay, me being an African American male, I had my time and my share of drug dealer movies, drug dealer shows, and or music videos or whatever, or music. I have had my time in that world, and I feel like that world is an oversaturated world. Been there, done that. I mean, what more can you say and do to revolutionize that world to make it even an entertaining world? To me, I don't think it's an entertaining world because I done spent the majority of my time in a world like that, fictional or reality. Okay, so I've been there, done that. Okay, that's why I'm not a huge fan of Snowfall, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do the same thing with Snowfall like I did with Breaking Bad. I'm not interested in it now, but that don't necessarily mean I'm not gonna be interested in it 2 years from now. Okay, so eventually I'm probably gonna watch Snowfall. Okay, but as of right now, I'm not watching it. Same thing with P-Valley. I'm not a huge fan of P-Valley. Everyone tells me that is a great series, but I'm just not into that stuff because I'll be frank with you guys. I have been there and done that in that world. There's nothing you can say or do that's going to have me I'm gonna have enthusiasm to watch or listen about the drug world. Okay, so in a nutshell, that's what Breaking Bad is. It's just a drug movie. It's about a guy who had nothing, who was doubted on, hated on, whatever. Who ends up getting cancer, who get a bad hand at life. He's working at a job that he doesn't appreciate, and he doesn't show his full talents or capabilities. And he just found out and learned that he's got cancer. So now he has to make money doing that. And he runs across this other guy who does meth, and they did a collaboration. He's now in the meth business. Okay. And you see the struggles and the ups and downs between the two, as well as his cancer. And you get storylines about the guy's wife and the struggles. In the at the beginning, it wasn't noticeable, but when his own wife thought that he was cheating on her, she has a disdain and distrust for her husband. Okay, because his heart, he was trying to hide the truth from her that he was selling meth. Okay, and that's pretty much the nutshell of it. And then you get a web of different storylines of the drug dealer. I mean, the guy who's making meth. He has a brother-in-law that's a DEA. He's a DEA agent. Try to say that 3 times fast. And he gets an offer to work in Mexico, but then some recent events change his perspective and change his mind, and he's fighting those demons. You got the DEA's wife, who's a kleptomaniac who runs around stealing stuff from stores and people's houses. Okay. In a nutshell, all of these people have flaws. And basically the whole concept of Breaking Bad is these characters are just like regular people like you and I. They just have flaws. Okay. We all have flaws. We have things in our life that we need to address and fix. Okay. And I'm not going to go in full detail because of Breaking Bad. But to me, I felt like the first 2 seasons, maybe the first 2 seasons, I want to say 3 seasons, but we'll just stick with 2. The first 2 seasons were dull and dry. It had some ups, but it had a lot of downs. And they were just venturing and going into things. They will talk about one thing, and then they stop talking about it when you talk about storylines. And I feel like the first 2 storylines, I wasn't interested in. Didn't like it. All right. And remember the story I just told you guys about The Walking Dead. I watched 2 episodes of The Walking Dead, and I was getting ready to stop watching The Walking Dead because I wasn't interested in the 2 episodes. But then as the episodes kept going on and on and on, I started getting interested in it. Well, with Breaking Bad, the first 2 seasons, I'm talking about seasons, not episodes, seasons were real boring. The concept of making meth, selling meth, and making money off of it, that concept was there. But the storylines around the husband, just getting a bad hand in life with the cancer, with him working at as a high school science teacher. He didn't even want to do that. His real ambition was to work for this high-tech or pharmaceutical company. He partnered up with his friends in college. And, when you start these companies, he started a company with his 2 friends. And you find out later, which is kind of bad for Breaking Bad. I think they should have mentioned this in the first 3 seasons, but they mentioned this somewhat in closer to the end of season 4 going into season 5. They mentioned how he mentioned that he told a story on how him and his 2 friends started a company, a tech science type company. And, when you start anything, you're going to start, the struggle's going to be real. And I guess maybe him or his friends, he said to himself, look, this is not going nowhere. I just buy me out of the company. And they bought him out of the company. They gave him like $5,000. And he said at that time, that $5,000, he can use that to pay the mortgage a couple of times because the company wasn't worth nothing. He said, well, today the company is worth in the billions. So I sold my share of that company for $5,000. Fast forward 10 years later, now this company is worth in the billions. So he said to the kid, he said, you told me, am I in the drug business or I'm in the money business? I'm not in either of those businesses, okay? I'm in the dynasty business. The empire business. He wants to create an empire, okay? So that's why and during this, during all 4 seasons, he'll be in, then he'll be out. He'll be in, he'll be out when it comes to making meth. Okay. And then the concept of his wife finally knows what he does. He sells meth because at first she thought that he was cheating on her. When it comes to find out that he found out that she was selling meth, she just didn't look at him or perceive him like she once did, and looked at him as a failure. Okay, because she looked down on people selling drugs, and she had she was always this do-gooder, always following the line, doing the right thing. And her husband is doing the wrong thing, selling drugs. Okay, and she was never brought up that way, even though she, one of her manager, she went back to her job, and the guy who owns this fabric company has been cooking the books. What is cooking the books? Smudging the numbers, making the numbers look what they're not really are. And he basically told her, said, "Yeah, I'm cooking the books because we're not making enough money at this fabric company, and people have rent, and I don't want to let nobody go, and I don't want to lose this company because my father started this company." So she said, "Well, I can't co-sign to this. I'm not down with this." Okay. So she walks out of the office, goes to her car. She packs up her stuff, goes to her car, pull out for a minute, then pulls back in, go back in, and pretty much co-sign and help him cook the books. Okay. So it's little stuff like that, like you're down on your husband breaking the law, but you okay with your boss breaking the law. And what makes matter even worse than that, you slept with your boss after the facts. Okay. So yeah, you got all that stuff going on. Okay. So that's and like I said, you watch it any way you want to watch it. You can watch it with you can watch Breaking Bad first, then Better Call Saul, then the movie. But I felt like, to me, watching Better Call Saul, you respect the other characters that they took from Breaking Bad, and they define them and describe them better in Better Call Saul. So now when you see them in Breaking Bad, you understand why this character is here and why this character acts and responds that way. Okay. So not to mention you had a drug boss by the name of Gus. It's okay. So in retrospect, watching Breaking Bad, like I said, the first 2 seasons were real down. I wasn't a huge fan of the first 2 seasons of Breaking Bad, but like I'm a trooper. I like to, anything that I start, I kind of like to see the end of it. Or if I'm going to quit something, I at least want to have enough on me to figure out, okay, this is the reason why I can't continue to watch this, yada, yada, yada. All right. So we're almost at the end of the 4th season. And now, we're in the 4th. No, we're at the 5th season, excuse me. And now you're starting to see, and by the way, the brother DA is dumb from jump, because there was peace. I mean, if he would just slow down and think, all the times he could have already figured out his own brother is the drug lord, is this guy that he's been chasing. And they call him Heisenberg. Okay. He could have already figured that out 3 seasons ago, but it takes darn near 5 seasons. And I'm at the part where he's finally putting stuff together. The DEA brother is finally putting stuff together. And now, he's putting stuff together, and now he's starting to come to the conclusion that his own brother is Heisenberg. Okay. So, and that's what, to me, ultimately about Breaking Bad, I feel like one, a lot of the seasons had way too many episodes. I feel like if they would have broke it down to like maybe 8, maybe 10 episodes a season, and just go straight forward with the story, I think it would have been a story that, even though it's kind of bad, you still want to follow along to get to the end result. Okay. I felt like it was, it could have, and two, some of the common sense that they applied to this story really wasn't common sense in my part. I felt like they made the DEA agent look dumb. Okay, so the DEA agent, all right, he's smart enough to figure other stuff out, but when it comes about his brother, he's completely brain dead and clueless. So I felt like, they did him dirty, they did him wrong that way. But and the wife, now she's wanting to end it. If you understand what end it means, I mean, it's just too much. I mean, it's just too many episodes. The storylines are really not connecting to other storylines, and to me, I see why I didn't want to watch Breaking Bad. I never had an interest in Breaking Bad anyway. Not to mention the fact that, look, all they talking about is drugs. That's all they talking about. Okay. And I have seen this and I heard about this, too many times. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, how many times are you going to tell the tale about someone dealing drugs? I mean, I've seen this in movies, television shows, in real life. I've heard about this through music, seen it through music videos, seen it through video games, books. I mean, how many times you're going to talk about someone being successful in the drug business? All right. So, like I said, I'm going to watch the rest of Breaking Bad. And when the new season of Better Call Saul comes out, I'm going to wait next year and watch. I'm just going to be a season behind that stuff. I'm not even 100% sure I'm going to watch Better Call Saul. But I understand why I wasn't very interested in Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, or this new movie. I don't know if they're going to utilize a lot of the characters. I think they're going to use a lot of characters that didn't get a lot of playing time or camera time on Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad. I think they're going to do that. But after that, look, I mean, I done missed like almost 3 episodes of The Moon Knight. So I got to catch up on that. I haven't even seen The Batman. That's 3 hours of The Batman. I'm unable to watch. Hopefully I get done with the Breaking Bad series today. And if I'm lucky, watch the movie that's based in the Breaking Bad universe. Because, and then just call it that. I mean, I don't want to, I just felt like, man, I just felt like, to me, and here's another thing I want to talk about with Breaking Bad. A lot of, and maybe they had different writers, different producers, different people editing, because I felt like the editing, the writing, the producing, the production level on Better Call Saul was way better than Breaking Bad. I felt like they learned through their mistakes through Breaking Bad, and then they applied from learning from their mistakes by not doing those same mistakes on Better Call Saul. So you can see the production value on both of these shows. So that's all I want to say on that. But I'm gonna watch it, and then I mean, there's a reason, and like I said before, well, no wonder I haven't watched Breaking Bad. No wonder I haven't watched it, because it just was not that good of a show, in my humble opinion. It just was not that good. All right, so yeah. I do want to say this. If y'all are thoroughly entertained by these live streams, can you please do your boy a favor? Can you do your boy a solid? Please hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, share this content with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy. You will not be disappointed. If you want to support this channel moving further, hit the join membership button. You get cool, shiny things like badges, emotes, all that jazz. And yeah, I'm gonna come out with another live stream first thing Monday morning. Have a couple of topics I'm interested in. I'm doing some research on those things. But try to give y'all some much needed live streams. And I hope you guys like this format, me doing live streams instead of videos. If you've been following me since day one, if you've been following me ever since the beginning of this year, I have experimented with different things. I was going to, while I'm applying to this channel, I've tried like shorter videos, then longer videos, then I change the topics and discussions. And now I'm going into more of a podcast-oriented format. It's easier for me. As far as I don't have to edit nothing. I don't have to download nothing, cut this, cut that. I just do the live streaming and I'm done. It's on my channel. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Man. Shoot. Next Saturday, I'm gonna have better topics, and we'll just go from there. Hopefully, I'll have some people that won't mind commenting in the comment section. But yeah, I gotta go, man. I got to clean up a little bit and do what I gotta do. I really do appreciate you guys coming. Watching the live stream. I know the energy needs to be there. The energy needs to be there for myself. But it is what it is. I'll talk to you. I'll holler at you guys Monday, and we're going to have some more topics and discussion and things of that nature. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I'm coming to you live, boys, from coast to coast. I'll see you guys on the next one. Deuces. Deuces, deuces, deuces.